You know, to get a handle on a problem as huge as our entire planet, sometimes you've got to start small, like really small. Today, we're going to see how the story of one little creature can help us understand one of the biggest challenges we all face. Let's dive in. All right, so this is the big question for today. And yeah, I get it. It sounds kind of weird, right? How can a tiny crab possibly teach us anything about something as massive as the global climate? Well, you're about to see that the connection is way more direct and more powerful than you'd ever guess. Okay, so before we get to the crab itself, we need to zoom way out and look at the big picture. We're talking about the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 13. Basically, it's a global SOS, a call for urgent action on climate change. So what are we really up against here? Well, climate change, in a nutshell, means our planet is heating up, and that leads to some really serious consequences. We're talking rising sea levels, more intense floods, and devastating droughts. It's a crisis that's already changing the world for all of us, and for millions of species out there. Okay, now that we've got the global context, let's zoom all the way back into a very specific, very local story. It is time to meet the star of our show, the orange mud crab. So this little guy hangs out along the coast of West Papua, Indonesia. But here's the thing, it's not just another animal. For the local communities, it's an incredibly valuable source of income, and its entire life depends on one thing, its home in the mangrove forests. And this quote right here, it really nails it. Put simply, no mangroves, no mud crabs. It's as simple as that. Their fates are completely tied together. And that one simple fact is what sets the stage for the enormous challenge this crab is facing. And this is the point where that huge global problem crashes right into this very local story. The crab and its mangrove home are caught in what you could call a pincer movement, getting squeezed by two massive threats at the exact same time. First up, the global threat, climate change. Remember those rising sea levels we just talked about? Well, they're literally swamping these mangrove forests, destroying the one place these crabs have to live. Their home is washing away. And the second threat? Well, that one comes directly from us. Because these crabs are so valuable, the demand is huge. And that demand is putting an incredible, unsustainable amount of pressure on their population. Now, I want you to just look at this number. That's it. Just 0.72. What on earth could that possibly mean? This single figure tells us almost everything we need to know about how much trouble the mud crab is in. All right, so what is that number all about? Scientists use something called an exploitation rate to measure how much pressure a species is under from fishing. For things to be sustainable, that number needs to be below zero point 0.5. And the mud crab score? It's 0.72. The science here is crystal clear. This is severe overfishing. And if you need another way to see it, just look at this chart. It shows what's actually killing the mud crabs. You can see that fishing pressure is just off the charts compared to all of their natural threats combined. We are, without a doubt, the single biggest danger to their survival. But look, this story isn't all doom and gloom. It's also about solutions. So, knowing all this, what can we actually do about it? What's the path forward? It's basically a three-step rescue plan. First, on the local level, we need smarter, science-based fishing rules that work with the crab's life cycle. Second, we have to protect and restore those absolutely vital mangrove forests. But none of that works without the third piece, global action. We all have to reduce our carbon footprint to fight climate change at its source. And that global action part, yeah, that's where this whole story circles right back to you. And to me, to all of us. Because global action is really just the sum of all our small, individual actions. Seriously, you can be a part of the solution for the mud crab and for countless other species. And these aren't huge, impossible tasks. Simple things, turning off lights, recycling, maybe walking or biking instead of driving, they all add up. They help cut the emissions that are fueling this whole problem. And you gotta remember, none of this is small stuff when millions and millions of us are doing it together. Every light switch flipped off, every bottle that gets recycled, it becomes part of a huge, powerful wave of change for our planet. So there it is, from a mangrove forest on the other side of the world, all the way to the choices you make every single day, it's all connected. The story of this little crab is just one chapter in the bigger story of our climate, and that story is being written right now. The only question is, what part are you going to play?